Hey, what's up? Back at it again today. The Mahoosuc Range. We'll be going through the Mahoosuc Notch, the infamous Mahoosuc Notch, and Mahoosuc Arm. But before then, that will probably be tomorrow. There's a lot of ups and downs and rock slabs and bog boards and mud. Boy, oh boy. I don't really do a lot of research or comments or looking at the comments too often on the navigation app that I use out here, far out. But I did on this one because this is, well, obviously the Mahoosuc Notch is considered the hardest and slowest mile on the AT, and I'll get to that tomorrow. That's going to be fun. It's like a jungle gym for adults, full of rocks and boulders. That's going to be fun. I can't wait to do some video work down there, besides climbing and crawling through it. But oh my goodness, this area coming up, you're going straight up walls, rebarb, ladders, mud. Who knows how deep it'll be, but it looks pretty intense. There looked like there was a place that I'm like walking right over a pond on branches. I'm not real fond of that. I love my mountains. I'm not a big fan of hazardous water or anything. So like walking over a pond, how deep is the pond? I don't swim. So we shall see. Take it one step at a time, but I have no idea except for a few things on what to expect here. But I do know one thing. I'm going to go through it regardless. I do know that people talk about how slow this is, like the next 15 to 17 miles taking like 12 hours. So we shall see. I'm in it for the long haul, no matter how long it takes, but it might take me a long time. It might be something that I cruise through. Who knows? Everybody's a little different, but right now it's road walking. I wish I could say that would last for 5 or 10 miles, but then my feet would hurt. So I'm glad it's not. But road walking, and I'm going over this river, and then I'm back in the forest, I guess. So the good news is there's going to be a couple milestones a day, some summits in my future, all kinds of fun things. So I'm excited, a little nervous about what the ending of New Hampshire and beginning of southern Maine has to offer. And by the way, on my last video, I said that the whites were officially finished. Really depends who you talk to, because Mount Mariah is considered to be the last 4,000 footer of the whites, but I guess there's another one up here in the beginning of the, or this end of the Mahoosuc Range, that might be still considered the whites because it's still in New Hampshire. I don't really know, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with the whites, and now I'm on to the Mahoosuc Range, which is where I am right now. So crossing this river, which is flowing hard. I'm glad there's a bridge here, because I would not want to walk on this or walk over this any other way. Actually, it's not. It's just one spot that's flowing pretty hard, but it's a big river. So this isn't normally something that they're going to have just a suspension bridge or footbridge on. Spitting something out over there. Just like that one section. Beautiful. Fog over top of it this morning. Yeah, that's beautiful. But it's going to be a fun day. Milestones and summits and fog and nice cool temperatures. Let's do it. Walking is overrated. I think I'm just going to drive this thing to Katahdin, right over top the mountains. Look at that big, I don't even know what you call this part, but the end of the crane, the wrecking ball maybe? I don't know. Oh, that would be fun. Not. Oh, there it is. I usually walk right by him and miss him. And 1,900 miles of my Appalachian Trail through hike is in the bag, which means I only have 297.4 miles to go. Under 300, baby. Whoa! Still down pretty low, probably about 1,500 or 1,600 feet, but out of breath and sweating pretty good. Like, what is wrong with me this morning? Not really that many rocks right now. It's kind of like the South where you're just climbing up dirt and leaves and roots. But I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then I look and realize I climbed 800 feet in a mile. So that's nice and steep for first thing in the morning. I love it, don't get me wrong. But I'm like, why am I feeling like it's such a tougher climb than what it looks? Well, that's because I wasn't climbing up the rocks. The rocks make you use a lot of energy because your legs are going way up and down on every step. The dirt, not so much. You just continually keep climbing up, and that's what I was doing. So I didn't recognize as much how much, oh, those clouds are a little lower than that mountain there. Hopefully there's an opening so I can see that and show it to you. You just see a little bit through the trees, but anyway, that's why I'm a little breathy and hot, but it's also very humid out here. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today down below. I don't think I'll be down below too much. I might be. A lot of bog boards I know today and swampiness, so that might be lower. I'm not sure. I really haven't checked into that. I just know if I go about 17 or 18 miles, it's about 6,000 something elevation. So a lot of ups and downs, and then of course summiting too. But this is a trail right now. Now getting to some rock steps, but it's fun. But for some reason, it's wearing me out this morning. A little bit of a view in between the trees. You can see the top of the summits over there, and then the clouds low lying in the valley or the fog. Now that is beautiful. Love seeing that first thing in the morning. Standing right below the summit of Mount Hayes. Point 2 up a side trail. Just came down from it. There's no views. And it looks a lot like this, just a bunch of slab rock. But there's better views here. Not much, but a little bit in the distance there. You can see those mountains. So I wanted to shoot the video from here. It's a very mild, humid morning. It's supposed to be cool, but it's making me sweat good for being 7 in the morning. But the first summit of the day, Mount Hayes, is in the bag. So I know this is the calm before the storm. Because all you ever hear about is the bad or the hard or the treacherous or the sketchy or the fun when it comes to like the Mahoosuc Notch. But this section here is a lot of negativity, and that's all you hear. You don't hear about this part that I'm on right now. Even though I've climbed 2,000 feet in the first 4 miles, I'm at about 4.5 miles now. And I am rather enjoying the fact that this is some of the easiest trail that I've been on since the beginning of New Hampshire. It's quite nice. A lot of dirt, a lot of roots, small rocks once in a while, but look at this. It's just a lot of this. Yes, there's ups and there's downs and there are some rocks, but it's not like your own rocks all the time, going straight up walls. There will be times for that today, I know. I already know this, but for right now, I am enjoying this cruisiness and going at a normal pace for the first time in quite some time. First nice view coming up a straight up rock slab. Really nice view though. You can see the clouds way down there. Now that is some gorgeous views. Oh yeah. Standing up here on a cliff in the land of no Karens. Trying to figure out where the trail is. Look at that gorgeous view. That is the Carter and Mariah range. What a view. You could see some hawks out there flying, buzzing around over the valley and the mountains in the background. What a view. Just stopped to get some water at a water source. Nicest water source I've seen today. Couldn't pass it up, but about 7 miles in for the day. Been some tougher little sections of wet boulders and tiny scrambles, but for the most part, the trail's been pretty good. Have about 3,000 feet of elevation already, 7 miles. So about halfway to the elevation I think that I'm doing today, unless I decide to just keep going, making really good time or whatever, but most likely I'll stop right before the notch so I can get that done first thing in the morning. Mahoosuc notch, that is. And but that water was really nice and clear and cold. Seems like a lot so far of the water sources, around here have been yellowish and brown and stinky. So glad I found that one when I needed it. I didn't really need it yet, but wanted it. Rather fill up on that for my 2 liters than get that nasty stuff any day. Ran into one thru-hiker, only one I ran into so far today. Let's see, about 2 or 3 miles from the edge of the whites, according to the map. Now, like I said, it depends on who you talk to. Some people say Mariah is the end for the whites. Some say that's just the last 4K mountain in the Whites going north. Of course it is. It's not just something they say, but it is true. The last 4K on the trail. But the Whites will officially be done then. But I'm already in the Mahoosuc range, so be in the Mahoosucs here for a while. And at least today and tomorrow. And just gonna keep climbing and descending, going up and down till I get to Maine. Oh, sorry, I am almost in Maine. I'm at Katahdin. And that's another thing, about 8 miles, I think, from the state line right now. Beautiful views here off a little spur trail after a pretty steep incline. Oh yeah, hazy in the background, but those mountains in the foreground are nice and clear. Absolutely beautiful. All right. I think these boards were underwater a couple days ago, so that's good. Oh, that mud was deep. I tried to avoid it. Still got in it. Oh boy. I have a funny feeling I'm going to get a lot of soak today. Oh my. Ooh. So these boards definitely were underwater. Some of them still are, and I'm soaked already. It's been pretty good up until this point, but I already knew that there was a lot of this today. So hopefully it's a little drier than normal. And those, first few miles, that maybe they were a little worse than, or usually a little worse than what they were for me today. Because I'm soaked now. Don't need to be soaked, but I am. There's going to be a lot of that today in this area. Oh well, got to do what you got to do to get to Katahdin. Look, it's a river of coffee. Mmm, yummy.
Boys and girls, always check your swamp depth. Not too bad, only about 1.5 feet.
Still don't want to land in it though. Still would be wet. So I'm gonna try to get across on this mess to those boards over there. But I'm not gonna hold the phone while I'm doing it. I'll tell you that right now. Well. That's a big moose print. I haven't seen a moose. I just came from the direction it's facing. But my head was down a lot. Going over bog boards. I might have walked right by it because that looks pretty fresh. It's been seeing a lot of moose poop. Haven't seen any moose yet though. I know they're around. Very high population of moose here. Coming up to the border of Maine. Definitely don't want to startle one, that's for sure. All right, so I don't know if you can see this pond here. I think I walked by it a little bit too. I don't know if that does it justice on the camera, but the last, I don't know, couple miles, if it wasn't deep, swampy, muddy, disgusting water, it's been rocks that are slanted, that are wet and muddy, that you have to walk on. Oh my goodness. This is the Upper Gentian Pond. I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that right. But it's a nice little pond. I don't see any moose out here, or bear. Nice breeze though, feels great. But anyway, this is the Upper Gentian Pond. Saying it the way it's spelled, so hopefully that's correct. And nope, no moose, no bear. Thought maybe they'd be getting themselves a beverage. But right before that pond, according to the map, which again, according to most people, I'm already out of the whites. But according to the map, right before that pond is the boundary line for the whites. And now, according to the map, since I called it out according to the locals and some people, but now, according to the map, the White Mountains National Forest is in the bag. Do you desire success in your life? Do you find it hard to get success? You try and try chasing success, and it just never comes. Well, if you want success in your life, you can't chase success. You have to do all the right steps to get to success. That means you gotta climb the mountains. You gotta sweat. You gotta grind. You gotta go through the pain. You gotta go through the tragedies. When the wind and refreshness stops blowing, you have to push through. Keep pushing through. Don't let anything stop you. And if something does stop you, you get right back up. If it stops you and knocks you down, I should say, you get right back up and start grinding and start climbing again. Success isn't just about money or monetary or anything like that. Success is about being an overcomer, being at the top of your game, doing whatever it takes to get to the top and being the best you that you can be. When there's an obstacle in your way, don't stop and retreat and go backwards. Find another way. Get around the problem. Get around the obstacle. Because progression is everything. Keep moving forward. Don't be stagnant. Don't go backwards. That will not get you to the success and overcoming victory that you want and desire in your life. When life throws dangerous curves and slants at you on your journey, don't stop. Don't turn around and go back. Keep progressing, but be careful. Watch your step and make sure you're doing everything in the safest way, but not overly safe, that you can to continue your journey of success to the top. If you're broken, you cannot move forward. Keep moving forward. Keep conquering. Keep overcoming. Be cautious on the dangerous parts of our lives. There are times in our lives where we get depleted, or we feel weak, or we just don't have strength anymore, and we need to refuel on beverage and food, mentally or spiritually or physically. So don't forget to keep those nutrients in your life in all three aspects, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to keep pressing on in the best way possible on your journey to success. Sometimes we're going to see something beautiful on our journey, something that catches our eye, something that can distract us. It's great to look at the beauty and take it all in, but we can also let that distract us and take our focus away from the prize, the thing we're trying to attain, the climb to success. It's great to take all the beauty in and to look at it and live life, but also in somewhat of moderation. Let me say, instead of moderation, still focusing on what the prize is and taking that beauty in, but then continuing on to success. If you follow these steps and never let anything stop you from moving forward and keep on pushing to the very top, you will reach your goal. You will have success. Standing on the summit of Mount Success. It was a tough climb, nice and steep. Definitely had my obstacles. Fell down one time straight on my hip on a rock face. Another time, a mud hole attacked me and knocked me into another mud hole. There were a couple other obstacles as well. But here I stand on the summit of Mount Success, the last mountain on the Appalachian Trail in New Hampshire. And what views they are. And Mount Success is in the bag. Hello. Hello, little Karens. Where are you? I'm just wandering around up here on this summit full of bog boards and lots of rock before it starts descending. It's a big one. Something really cool about this mountain that I'd have to research a little bit more, but y'all can research it on your own because I don't know all the things right now. But basically, it's something to do with glaciers or something causes it to have all these great views of granite up on the rock, but then all kinds of bog boards and such too. I don't know the whole story, but there's definitely a lot of bog boards up here. Here's a whole other view. Down there, that Rocky Mountain, whatever that is. Oh yeah. Beautiful views on top of this summit that just wraps on forever. I just got to figure out where I'm going to get down. The Karens do not exist, they seem like. All right, carrying on. Pretty much been all mud and puddles from the summit and down from Success. For the most part, I've been able to get around most of it, but my feet have definitely gotten wet a couple times. Not since before Mount Success, which one of them climbing it. The other one earlier today, did I get totally submerged? And one of them got me so submerged it like knocked me down to the other side, and then my body landed in a puddle. Oh, I could laugh about it now, but I wasn't laughing then. I might have been saying some words. It was quite annoying. But as you can see, it's just muddy and swampy everywhere. A lot of times the boards are underwater or they're broken. Almost fell off that one. Can slide right off pretty easily because they're very small, especially when they're above water, or not much above water. You have very little to work with. This definitely slows down the process, but getting really close to a certain something, and then after that certain something, I'll be really close to where I'll be setting up camp tonight, and there will be no more water or mud tomorrow. Well, this is a messed up section. I came from way up there. The blazes disappear. You come down here and there's a tree in the way where you can't go. It's a big drop off. Over here are huge rocks with the big drop off. I end up coming this way, then cutting back over here. Still no blazes, but I believe I have to go up there. But I still don't really know because there's no blazes anywhere. There's like, well, it's like just a little valley. This is what I expect on the notch tomorrow, but I'm not there yet. So it's a little weird that I hope to see. I would have had to come down through all that. Came from up there. I think this is right. I don't see any other thing that looks remotely like a trail. The problem is most stuff doesn't look like a trail unless there's bog boards right now. So I'm gonna go up here and hope it's right. Alrighty, that appears to have been it. Gonna see a lot of that tomorrow in the Mahoosucs Notch. The difference is the stuff will have blazes on it, most of it, to show you where to go. I did not see blazes anywhere there. Oh well, I gotta cross it, figured it out. Might need some blazes there, AMC. Anyway, getting close to the goal for the day. I am almost at the sign and border for Maine, and I just came down 2 of these. So slick with the moss and the wetness. Not a whole lot of footholds and really steep. So I slid all the way down. Like, this would be funny if the sign was at the bottom of this and I just slid all the way into Maine. Really close though, because it's not even a 1/10 of a mile. My butt is wet. And then there was one state left on my Appalachian Trail journey this year, the state of Maine. 13 down and 1 to go. And the state of New Hampshire is in the bag.